Assistant Professor for International Relations at the University of Punjab. Marium, thank you for your time. Really quite surprising to see so many people possibly. Do you think they're taking risks in conducting these demonstrations?
Definitely, because I believe that what else the government can do other than, because the pandemic is on rise and the number of cases is rising day by day. So if you look at the past, from in the last 3 years, we can see we have seen such protest in US, in UK, in Europe as well, because it's basically against the basic human rights. But the zero policy, zero policy regarding the COVID strategy its restrictions started from August. And the people now are a bit tired from the previous last 3 years facing these restrictions. If we look at the government part, they are justified, because what else the government can do? What other than imposing these restrictions? Because these are the medical needs to prevent the pandemic. And the world is not only going through, if there are so many other issues as well beside the pandemic, the climate issue, the world is facing all over these such kind of challenges. So definitely such challenging zero COVID strategy basically is tough for the people to accept. The tough restriction probably started in China from August. And the strategy is very strict regarding the activities and freedom of the people over there. And it's mainly hindering the economic activities, which is more frustrating for the people. Otherwise, on the part of the government is justified, and the people are also justified. The only thing I think which they need now, they need to learn how to live with the COVID and this pandemic, because it's now been 3 years since 2019 when it started in China.
Do you think there's a danger, though, that if the government doesn't relent somewhat in its zero COVID policy, that these demonstrations will become much more than just about COVID? You know, the white pieces of paper that they're holding, of course, they are white and they're blank because that's a symbol of a lack of free speech. So already the demonstrations are more than just about COVID, because people are saying, this white piece of paper just shows that I can't really say what I want to say. I would have written a protest slogan, but I know I'd be arrested. So it's about more than just COVID, and it could snowball into something much more major.
Undoubtedly that China's policy are controlled and it is censored. Even the internet is censored over there. That is something, obviously it's a fact. I'm not going to debate on it. And the people are, definitely they are showing their anger through these white papers. They are speechless. They don't want to speak for their freedom. But again, rationally, think rationally. Look about the medical issues as well. It's a medical issue. The government's policy zero COVID strategy, basically it has some reason, has a background because of the rising number of cases. So the people, now what the government should do, that should look for alternatives as a smart lockdown, a relaxation in some time, and there are some other options as well can be done regarding balancing the people or the need of the people over there. So there is, like, I agree with you completely. There is controlled scenario in China, which is, again, it's not only China, basically. There's so many states in Europe as well. Currently, COVID is on rise in Germany, in France, and it's in so many European states, they are not basically reporting even number of COVIDs, because the major issue with the COVID and the pandemic lockdown and the isolation is the economic issues. And currently, the West is facing serious economic issues because the existing Ukraine-Russia war. So there are so many aspects which need to be catered here. Like, we need to look about the rational outcome, the perspective which can feed or support the government and support the people as well and satisfy them. Though the unrest and the protest in China is unusual, we haven't seen such protests and such loud, claim for their freedom and human rights, and that is justified. Again, I'm not against the protest, neither I'm against the policies. Now they need to look for somewhere way out in between these two issues, how to relax these people and how to make them understand how to live with this pandemic.
Marium Kamal, really appreciate it. Marium, thank you so much indeed.